Chills Bar, Beersley, sponsors of Port Vale content on Six Towns Radio.
You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.
Tom Pope, a nice win at Bradford. Talk us through it a little bit.
I think it was one of them results that we needed, really. I think it was one of them games. I think everybody's been excited about the start we'd had with the way we were playing. You know, there's a lot of flair and a lot of good play going forward. And you know, against Bradford, we never really started very well. We got deeper and deeper, and we were under the cosh a little bit. You know, we prepared for it all week that they were going to be putting balls in the box, and they did. Any chance they got, they put it in, even from in their own half at times. So we knew it was going to be a test. And I said after the game that it was one of them results that we needed. We needed really grinder away win out, and you know, that was a pleasing thing about it. You know, we've showed that we can not only win by playing some great stuff and dominating games, we've showed that we can do the dirty stuff and grind out a result as well. So, you know, it was a pleasing result.
And then Tuesday, first cold night match of the season, wasn't it, against Dagenham at home, and they never really looked like scoring, and they did score through a fluke from Howell, didn't they? Went under Chris Neal's legs. What happened on Tuesday?
I think it's going to be, you know, when we've started as well as we have, and you've got sides that are struggling or, you know, coming here with a game plan to set offers and counter-attack, then we've got to be braver and, you know, look at ways on which, you know, if we can't get the wingers in the game, then we've got to be more. I mean, the gaffer said at half-time, just keep being patient, keep moving the ball, and if we keep a clean sheet, we'll win the game. You know, and then we go and concede a goal, and, you know, we were lucky to get a point in the end. And to be fair, the last 5 minutes, if any team would probably go and win it, it'd have been Dagenham. So, you know, we're having a lot of possession. We're in the final third a lot. I just think the end product in the final third just probably wasn't up to scratch or as good as it's been over the previous few weeks at the start of the season. So, you know, I'm sure it'll come right again. You know, the quality that the wingers have got and Dodsey. You know, I'm sure we can get back to scoring goals and playing as well as we were doing at the start of the season. Yeah,
you mentioned the Bradford game for Vale. They had to carve a result out, but it was the same for Dagenham. They had to come and kick Vale because, you know, they're fighting for survival. You know, at the bottom end, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not just that. You know, they didn't really have any fans that come, so, you know, it takes a little bit of pressure off them with the fact that, you know, there's not going to be people getting on the cases. They can just go out there, sit back and relax, and that was what they did. You know, they weren't a great side. You know, they were not going to play many poorer than that this season. But like I say, when they're putting men behind the ball and making it difficult for our front four, you know, we've got to be, like I say, we've got to be braver on the ball and move it a bit quicker. And I just think with the way they set the stall out that, you know, we couldn't really get going. We couldn't really get a tempo up to what it's been at the start of the season. And, you know, really, in fairness, Dagenham probably dragged us down to their level.
You must be really happy though with your performances so far. You know, getting the service that you wanted. You know, you're playing well, and that's been proved by the goals you've got so far. So you couldn't ask for a better start, really, personally, could you?
No, I guess not. I think as a striker, like you say, you're going to be based on goals. I think last year, you know, I didn't really score many goals, but in saying that, I didn't have the service that I've had this year. You know, but I've got myself fit over the summer and, you know, I've hit the ground running and I've been scoring goals, and hopefully that can carry on. If we can keep getting the service as we've had at the start of the season, then I don't see why not.
Do you think you matured over the last 12 months as a player?
I don't think I've matured. I think, you know, I've always had the ability to hold the ball up and been an aerial threat. I just think that, you know, since Rico went and obviously the funds for the gaffer had dried up, we hadn't been able to replace him with a goal scorer. And I think, you know, over the years I've been the provider or, you know, the player that's linking the play up with the goal scorers like Rico or Lafondra or Maynard or whoever it be. You know, everybody's always scored goals, and when Rico had gone, I I just felt that it was time that I started being the one that could try and get on the end of them and probably change my game a little bit. But I don't think I've matured as a player. I think I've still got the game as I've always had. I've just tried to stay a bit more centrally and try to be a bit more selfish in the box, and it's got me a few more goals.
Have you set a target for the season, or you're not that type of player, you just go with the flow?
I just go with the flow. I think if you set yourself goals, then you're either disappointed or I just think anything can happen. You can get injuries and things like that, and I think as I say, my goal is to play as many games as I possibly can, and if I can get as many goals as I possibly can at the end of it, as long as I can stay injury free, that'll be the main thing for my season.
Yeah, Vale are clocking in some miles on the away trips. Exeter away on Saturday, which is a bit of a long haul. Thoughts going into that game?
Well, they're flying, and I think that's why we're going to have a chance, and I'm looking forward to it. I think all the Rotherham come here, they fancied the chances, and we picked them off and battered them. We went Fleetwood, who everybody fancies be up there, and we picked them off and battered them. So, Exeter are right up there. I think they're a point behind us. Really doing well away from home, similar to ourselves, but struggling a little bit at home. I think they've lost a couple at home. So, we'll go there. They're going to come at us, as we know they're going to. And like you say, when sides come on to us, I think we've got the players to exploit that when we get the ball and break on them. So, with the pace we've got on the side, we're not going to fear anybody. And I think, although you want to put a performance on for the home fans and do well at home, it's also good to go away from home knowing everybody's against you. You've got the majority of the fans against you, and if you can get an early goal and silence them, then you've got every chance of winning the game.
Yeah, it's important to beat these top teams or put a good performance. And then Tuesday night, Johnson Pates Trophy. Great win in the last round. This time Walsall away. It's not a far trip, only just down the M6. Do you fancy chances against them because they're at the top?
Oh, well, of course. I think pre-season we played against Coventry and Tranmere, and we drew both the games, which we probably could have won. And obviously we played Tranmere in the last round. Although they rested 3 or 4 players, I think it was, I still think we were by far the better side. So, it just depends on what the gaffer does with his selections and what their manager does with theirs. But, whether it be this league or the league above, we're not going to fear anybody. It's a good chance for us to, have a bit of success and a bit of a cup run. And, I'm sure we'll go there fancying us chances.
Yeah, and take a few fans down as well.
Well, yeah, I think, I remember back in the early days when I was supporting them, Vale used to take quite a decent following down to Walsall, so I'm sure there'll be, even though it's just a Johnson Paint Trophy, I'm sure there's going to be quite a few that are going to be willing to go down.
Yeah, good stuff, Tom, thank you.
No probs.